Hey everybody, Daniel Fusco here, and welcome to today's 2-minute message. So I remember growing up, I didn't really grow up with spiritual beliefs. And I remember by the time I made my way into high school and college, I wasn't quite what you would consider an atheist. I just didn't think really anything about God. And I remember the idea about hearing how everything happened, creation, through the Big Bang, and all of the matter in the universe was contained in something smaller than the eye of the pin of a needle, and all of a sudden exploded, and then everything kind of landed in the perfect spot. I remember hearing that and thinking to myself, uh-oh, I got a problem.
Yeah, you have a problem. Namely that said description of the Big Bang and the general formation of the universe is atrocious. Sounds like you could have done with a better science teacher if that's what you were taught in college. But sadly, religious groups have been trying to undermine said institutions from the moment that they realize an educated population is much harder to dupe than an uneducated one. There's nothing perfect about the universe, the vast majority of which is a cold, lifeless void. Known life has managed to scrape its existence in such a small section of it that to express just how detached what you were told drifts from reality really is difficult. A fraction of a fraction is an overstatement. There are 200 to 400 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy, a galaxy which itself is one of 100 billion galaxies in the currently observed universe, in which only one planet so far is known to harbour life. That's not perfect. Hell, that isn't even efficient. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that the universe is so damn inefficient and convoluted if life is the end goal. But one thing I don't understand, Mix Fusco, is what a bad education has to do with the title of your video, which is, I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. And I'm not sure how you're going to resolve that in the remaining 1 minute 30 seconds of your video. So I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's play the video.
Because really what I started to realize is that I actually didn't have enough faith to be an atheist. I could not believe that there was a Big Bang, it exploded outward, and everything landed perfectly where there's suns and planets and orbits and gravity and all this stuff just worked. And I once heard an analogy that really made sense, that if you believe in the Big Bang without a creator God, it's like believing you could throw a 100-piece puzzle down on the ground and it would land all perfectly formed.
That's a frankly asinine analogy, though I guess to a person admitting to massive amounts of incredulity, asinine analogies are appealing due to their simplistic nature, no matter how little relevance they have to reality. The odds of the universe forming as it has, as far as we know, is 1 in 1. This is the only configuration of a universe we have ever observed, so to attach an arbitrary or even undisclosed odd, such as the puzzle analogy you used, is inherently inaccurate. Look, if you received a bad education, I feel for you. But you're an adult now who has access to the greatest source of information ever seen by humankind. Maybe you'd like to, use that to actually correct this garbage understanding of universal formation and the Big Bang. Because all you are currently doing is exposing your willful ignorance and subsequent incredulity. Fact is, even if the odds were staggeringly high or we had no understanding about the various natural forces involved, none of that would even touch on atheism. Atheism is simply a lack of belief in a deity. Meanwhile, us not knowing every detail about the universe and how it formed, that in no way validates the existence of a god. So again, what's your point behind all of this?
And I realized, actually, I don't have enough faith to do that. See, I believe in the Big Bang. I also believe that the Big Bang happened because of the Big Banger. I believe that God spoke and all of creation came into existence, but there was intelligence behind it. Now, obviously, I could talk about a lot of different things, but I'm going to leave it there. So first, I want you to share this video because actually, I think that the most profound faith-based position would have to be an atheist, because you have to explain that everything worked by happenstance. by natural selection, whatever the language that you use. I actually think that's the greatest faith-based religion in the world, is to be an atheist, because it goes against all logic on every level. And in the comment section, I don't want us to bag on people who are atheists, and I realize by even posting this, lots of people who are atheists are gonna come up and say, hey, I only did this in a few minutes, so I can't explain all of it. But what is the evidence in creation that you see for God's handiwork? And we all notice different things. So let's talk about how we see the evidence of God within the creation that he made. And God bless you today.
Leave it where? You didn't actually explain anything. All you did is tell us that you were taught a diabolic explanation of universal origin, that you were too lazy to study the topic to verify and correct said poor explanation, therefore you don't understand universal formation, ergo you assert God must exist to explain it, meaning atheists are part of some faith-based position. In short, what you've presented here is nothing but 2 minutes of pure waste. You assert a God exists. That's on you to prove. Me not accepting your faith-based assertion that a God exists, an assertion lacking any and all evidence basis, is not faith. It's called maintaining intellectual credibility. Us not understanding every aspect of universal formation does not act as justification for asserting whatever magical phantom you have your heart set on. It just means one thing and one thing only. We don't know yet. But even if we never discover the full answer, that still does not justify the assertion of God, no more than not understanding the refraction of light during or after a rainstorm would act as a justification to assert the existence of leprechauns to explain rainbows. The only thing that can justify the belief in the existence of God is direct evidence of that existence, not some random non sequitur as presented here. Atheism doesn't require faith, merely a basic understanding of hypothesis testing. You assert God, the burden of proof is on you and you alone to demonstrate said existence. Your complete failure to do so is all the reason I need not to buy the crap you are shoveling. And you may not like that, but that's the reality of the situation. So, if this video is a sign of your general knowledge on the topics you hope to touch on with your channel, do the world a favour and just quit whilst you've not sunk a lot of time into things. Or at the very least, recognise your ignorance on this particular subject, learn from it, and stop trying to shirk the theist burden of proof. Hi there, I'd just like to say a few things here at the end of the video before you go. First, I'd like to thank everyone who's ever donated to the channel via Patreon, giving a special thanks to the following people: Hannah Banghart, Matthew Kovac, John Schoenrock, Alexander Williams, Ernst Puna, and Daniel Martinez. Your support has ensured this channel its ability to grow over the years, and really is the only thing that manages to keep the channel afloat. I'd also like to ask that you comment down below and like this video, as well as subscribe and follow Essence of Thought on Facebook and Twitter. Please also consider following Atheist Alliance International on Facebook, an organisation dedicated to helping atheists around the globe. Any comments utilising language which insults others on the basis of perceived gender, sexuality, ethnicity or ability both mental and physical will be removed immediately, and the commenter may be blocked on the moderator's discretion. Let's keep this space one which upholds the humanist values. Thank you.